What's going on, everybody? We're here at this amazing little spot here in Bryson City, right on Highway 28. Okay, so really unique little area here. I would say you're almost halfway in between Bryson City and Franklin. Okay, this home sits on almost 30 acres, backs right up to the United States Forest Service. People are always saying that all the time. USFS, United States Forest Service. What is that? It's actually government land, large tracts of land. Nobody can build on there. You can go there and kind of walk around. You can explore. You can hunt as well, as long as you've got tags and permits. So it's kind of like free exploration land. So anytime people are always looking for homes, they're always asking me sometimes, hey, does this back up to USFS, or is there any access to United States Forest Service? The answer to that question for this home is yes. Down the valley, it touches United States Forest Service, and what it also touches is the river. Okay, the Little Tennessee River runs straight through here, and it's a large rushing river. Tons of trout. You could fish on there if you've got the correct permits. So really kind of a unique spot, and an added bonus to your property is having the United States Forest Service. So let's talk about the house. Okay, this home is a 3-bed, 2-bath home. Okay, it's 2-story. It's got a partial basement, 2-story partial basement, all hardwood floors. Really spectacular floors. If you did some finishing work, and you walk in that front door there, opportunity to go right to the master bedroom. Okay, with a master ensuite. You've got the king size bed, the dresser, enough room for a dresser, a little sitting area, and then you've got the full bathroom right off that bedroom. Walk in straight into the living room. All right, beautiful gas fireplace, wonderful brick right there. Keeps you really nice and cozy on these chilly January days. And then right off the living room is another bedroom with a full closet. Okay, there's a hall bath, and then tucked in behind that hall bath is another bedroom. Okay, so 3 beds upstairs, 2 full baths upstairs, one of them being the master suite. Behind that whole operation is the kitchen with a beautiful floor. They redid all the floors, large open space, looks into a dining room area. You've got access to go to the backyard. And then you also have access to go downstairs into the partially finished basement, where you'll find the washer dryer, an exterior exit. You could kind of keep that as a flex space, or maybe an office area, a little bit of a den, and that sort of stuff. Behind the house, like I said, it's almost 30 acres. Behind the house is pretty much free roam mountainside. There's an old deer stand up there from previous owners. These folks have had the home since 2018 or 2019. They've actually got a ton of equity in their home. So that's another thing too. If you bought your home and you've had your home now for like 5-6 years, just based on this market, you've automatically granted yourself a ton of equity. They were talking about, listing price and selling price, maybe talking about listing it right around the same price that they bought it. And I told them, I said, you guys have way more equity in this house. If we put it up here for the same price that you bought it, it could end up turning into a bidding war. So anyways, back up behind the house, tons of property. If you're a hunter or an outdoorsman, you like playing, doing those things, there's a great opportunity to do some hunting. And you'll notice too, around the property, there's some other different little huts or lean-tos. I think they have a canning station or a canning area right over there. And then they've got another little lean-to right here. It looks like at some point, maybe there's even some farm animals in there. Around this side of the house is the well. And that's about it. Beautiful magnolia tree. And that's it for the property. All right, whenever I'm making these videos, I always try to figure out what to say, so sometimes when I draw a little bit of a blank. I've been using Chat GPT a lot for some of my listing descriptions. It's really helped me out a lot with my marketing tactics, describing property, that type of stuff. So I was just playing around with it on my way over here. I said, ask me 10 What are 10 questions people ask realtors? Common 10 questions. So I'm going to fire through those and answer them for you. Number one, how long have you been a realtor? I got licensed in right at the end of 2019, started selling right at the beginning of 2020. So I've been a realtor for 4 years now. What areas or neighborhoods do you specialize in? I live in Franklin. Okay, so I tell folks all the time, Franklin is, my backyard, my front yard. I know it like the back of my hand. Other areas that I specialize in is Highlands. Okay, it's right there in Macon County. Franklin's in Macon County. Also specialize in Cashers, which is Jackson County. So Franklin, Highlands, Cashers, those are like my go-to. Right now we're in Bryson City, so I work a little bit in Bryson City. I was in Murphy the other day. Do a little bit in Silva. I sold a house there not too long ago, but Franklin, Highlands, Cashers are definitely my specializations. Can you provide a comparative market analysis for my property? So a lot of times sellers will say, can you provide this market analysis to let me know what you think the price is? The answer is yes. That's my job, is to help sellers determine how much to list their home for, what's a fair market value. And the way I do my business is really all data driven. So anytime I meet with the sellers, like when I met with these folks, I come over, I look at the property. A little bit tricky up here in the mountains because we don't have those cookie cutter subdivisions. So I show up pretty much empty handed because I don't know what I'm going to run into. Take pictures, take some measurements, take a lot of notes. Then I go back to the computer after I realize what the property has. And then I do my market analysis. I get a ton of homes, probably like 200 homes. I start filtering it down and down and down and down. And then, surely those prices start to kind of line up. And then I present it to the sellers with kind of a 3 option. This will sell really fast. Bidding wars, cash offers. This second tier is more of a fair market value. You'd be on the market for about, maybe 60, 90 days average market. Average days on the market right now is about 40 or 50. Selling at a fair price. Then that third option is a little bit overpriced. Maybe 1 year on the market, maybe 8 months. After that, you receive some low ball offers. We may need to do a price reduction. And then I ask them just to pick one based on, their goals or desires. So yes, I can do the market analysis. What's your commission rate or fee structure? This is my favorite question. People are always asking me, how much do you charge? I say typically, right, in bold, underline, italics, 6%. Okay, and that's, you ask any realtor, Remax, Century 21, Berkshire Hathaway, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say 6%. Now that's, locally, that's where we're at. I've got friends in Florida, friends in New York who work with all those other companies, and they're like, oh, Dan, we do it for 5%, or we do it for 4%. So that really is not the same here. We're at 6%. Again, typically, underline, bold, letters, okay? But it's negotiable, okay? I work for an amazing company, and they say, Dan, you know how to run your business. We're not going to tie you down to that 6%. You know what it costs for photographers. You know what it costs for signs. You know what it costs for marketing. You determine your commission, okay? So really, I can determine my own commission. Now, we always want to pay a buyer's agent, right? I work with all the buyer's agents in Carolina Smokies, all the buyer's agents in Highlands Cashers. There's over thousands of agents that I work with. And if I'm not going to pay them any money for them to show the property, they're just not going to show it because, that's their job. They want to get paid to show it. So it's got to be at least 3% to give them. All right. And that's with me making nothing. So that's what I say 6%. Okay. And I'm going to split that with the buyer's agent. So I give them 3%, I get 3%. And sometimes what I'll say is that if I bring the buyer, right, they'll always ask me, hey, do you do a discount or something? Or, is that the lowest you can go? I say it's negotiable. So, I'm leaving the door open for them to negotiate. They'll say, is that the lowest you can go? I'll say, I can go a little bit lower. If I bring the buyer, I'll give you 1% back at closing. So 5%. It's kind of a win-win for everybody. How will you market my property? Like I said, I work with thousands of buyer's agents. I send it to them directly. Okay, I've got a special platform here with my company where I can put it on Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Robb Report, Upmarket. It's kind of a luxury division. Also put it obviously on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Hot Pads, realtor.com, Google, all my social media networks. I've got over thousands of viewers and followers and subscribers. So we continue to push it out every single week. All right, I don't just get the listing, put it on the MLS, and then that's it. Every single week it gets a new push until it's either pending or sold. Can you provide references or client testimonials? Yes. Go to the O'Connell Group, EXP Realty in Franklin, North Carolina. I've got 27 5-star Google reviews, so right there for you, with all people that I've done business with. How should I prepare my home for the sale? Great question. Declutter. Okay. That's the simplest way. Declutter. If you've got, people like to do the flour and the pasta and the baking materials right there on the counter, just put it up in the cabinet. Let your counters be nice and clear. Maybe one candle, don't go too crazy. All right. Open up the blinds, keep it nice and bright. Make sure it smells nice in there. All right. And if you have any kind of loose electrical things or lights that don't work, make sure those are fixed. Okay, so all the stuff off the countertops, make it clean and clear and crisp. Okay, open up the blinds and windows, make sure all your lights and appliances and outlets are working and they're not loose, because that's what the buyers do. They'll come in, they'll flip the lights on. If they don't work, that's an automatic red flag. All right, let's see. How do you handle negotiations with buyers or sellers? That really just depends on the situation. Okay, so if sellers are leaving it up to me, then my negotiations are, hey, Mr. Buyer's agent, here's what we're asking for the price. Where are you at? Is it negotiable? Yes, everything's negotiable. Please make your offer so I can present it to the sellers. Even if it's low, I love to bring the offers to the sellers. That way we can come back. A lot of the things that we don't like to do is when the seller says, I just don't want to counter, it's too low. I don't want to counter. I always tell them, hey, even if you come off like $2,000 or like $5,000, it continues the conversation. So let them quit first. Don't quit just because they gave you a little bit of a lower offer. Just come back, $2,000 or $5,000 under and see what they say. What's the current state of the local real estate market? Like I was saying earlier, 30, 45 days average, inventory super low. Great time to be a seller. Also great time right now to be a buyer because interest rates are starting to come down. A lot of buyers on the sidelines. I'm waiting for the market to crash. I'm waiting for the market to crash. They've been saying that since 2020, waiting for the market to crash. And guess what the prices have kept doing? They keep going up. What if they keep going up and up and up? Just get in the door right now. Okay, I heard one of my loan officers says, marry the house, okay, date the rate, right? So you buy the house, you lock in that house for 30 years. When interest rates come back down, refinance and get a lower rate, okay? Because you look at the graph from real estate for the last 50 years, guess what? Prices continue to go up. So it's just, it's a double-edged sword. If you wait 2 years or for the market to come down, this home in 2 years, 3 years is going to be worth more, right? So get your foot in the door, make that purchase, and then date the rate. That way you can just refinance. How long do properties similar to mine typically stay on the market? Let's look at this one right here. 3-bed, 2-bath, nice home. This, if priced correctly, should be on the market for 30 to 45 days. My name is Dan O'Connell. Hope everyone has a great day.